Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining us today. We are excited to share with you the second part of our webinar series introducing you to our newest solution accelerator, BankerShare. BankerShare is targeted for the financial services industry and banking industries and is focused on helping you expedite your digital transformation and further drive operational excellence and compliance within your organization. Today, we're going to focus on how BankerShare can help expedite communication between your loan officers and loan operations by automating common manual processes such as loan maintenance requests and requests for missing loan information. Now, as always, before we get started, we've got a couple housekeeping items. First, just a quick little bit about Abel Solutions. We are a consulting firm based out of Alpharetta, Georgia, and have been working with clients for over 2 decades to reduce the cost, risk, and implementation time associated with solving their most critical business, IT, and collaboration challenges. We offer document management and workflow-enabled SharePoint solutions, unique applications, technology planning and support, and a wide array of complementary IT services that help companies achieve powerful business improvement. Now, in addition, we've spent the past few years developing several industry-specific collaboration frameworks, BankerShare being the most recent. These frameworks offer pre-built solutions to help get you up and running faster than ever before. We are a long-standing Microsoft Gold partner, and we're also Nintex's go-to partner in the Southeast and longest-serving partner in this region. So for more information about us, Abel Solutions, you can check us out online, follow us on Twitter, or contact us directly, and we'll definitely share some contact information with you at the end of our webinar today. And so now just a little bit about who we are. My name is Nicole Presby. I'm a senior SharePoint consultant here at Abel Solutions, and I'm also a virtual technical evangelist for Nintex, which, if you're unfamiliar, is equivalent to Microsoft's MVP program. If you want to connect with me, you can find me on Twitter or check out my blog. I typically post tips and tricks related to SharePoint, and even more specifically, process automation with Nintex is where I like to focus. I will be playing the role of moderator for our webinar today. And along with me, I've got Andy Newton, who is our business development manager and our resident financial services subject matter expert. He has been working in and around this financial services industry for more than 12 years and brings experience in software services, including focusing on streamlining business processes and building out financial service solutions through SharePoint workflow automation. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Andy, who will be taking you through the rest of our demo today. Andy, it's all yours.
Thank you, Nicole. Today, we are going to learn a lot about BankerShare and some of the really neat functionality that we've developed inside of it. So we're going to do an overview. We're going to go into 2 specific items, loan maintenance and missing loan information. These are 2 apps that we have built out for the loan part of your bank. We have a roadmap that we're going to show you after that to kind of show you where our thoughts are on our next steps and how we're going to go forward. And then we'll wrap all this up with Q&A and next steps. So what is BankerShare? It's really a platform that's going to allow you and your branch network to streamline and automate your business processes that are disjointed, manual, and very inefficient. It allows you to take those processes and automate them and put some accountability and task behind those. Now, one thing we're not going to do is we're not competing with your existing core and third-party products and applications. We're there to complement them. So that's something to keep in mind as you're watching this presentation. Another thing that we feel like we really do well is we address compliance shortfalls that comes from audits. Being in the financial services for the last 12 years, audit season starts in January and ends December. I understand and feel your pain. So from those audits come high findings, and those high findings have to be addressed. And a lot of the times when I've been working with banks, we have used SharePoint and the automation and the tracking of certain tasks and items to address those high findings. Another thing that we want to make sure that we address during the build out of BankerShare is the collaboration. We see that departments have sometimes hard tasks to accomplish if they can't communicate or collaborate in between each other. So what we've done is we've set up a platform to allow departments to collaborate with task and follow-up reminders of things that there are interdependencies on. And then the last thing we want to do is we want to fill that operational gap or that software gap that you can't go out and buy software for because they just don't make it. So we have ready-to-go solutions that you can choose from, or we can also build out functionality that you need immediately and put that into our platform to help fill your gaps there. So your core system does a great job of grabbing and storing information and reporting on it. It gives you your loan and deposit operations a good platform. And then you surround, a lot of banks will surround that with third-party applications. And here's just a few of them. I know you have a lot more than that, but here's just a few of them that you would be using in your bank. And so we know that doesn't stand alone. So all these applications, third-party applications and core systems, support all your various departments that you have throughout your bank. So these are just a few of them up here, but one of the things that we have identified that there isn't any business process integration between departments. They might integrate the data, but the business process is where we see that a lot of these applications really don't play well in. So what we want to do is complement those by providing that platform that allows you to create business processes and tie these departments together through task and list and follow-up reminders and things of that nature. And so that's what we're going to see today. We're going to take a peek into two of the applications that we built, and here's one of them. The first one that we're going to go over is loan maintenance request. Now this is just a simple business process that we've automated. So the first thing that happens is that we have a loan officer that has a maintenance request that they need loan operations to address. So they create an item inside our new application, and the status is switched to new, and an email is sent to loan maintenance, and they have a queue that they can work from. Loan maintenance then can assign that out to somebody to be done, and we change that to in progress. Now the work starts. So once an item is in progress, it can be completed and skip all the way down to the very end and then send an email back over to the loan officer saying it's been completed. But a lot of times realize that there are a lot of questions that go on in between when it was created and when it was completed. So what we've done is we've provided a mechanism inside the form itself to trap that information and allow questions and answers to go on between the operations side and the loan officer side. And we will change the status based on where we are in the process of getting that information. And once loan operations is satisfied, then they can complete this transaction and notify instantly through an email automation that it has been completed. Meanwhile, we're tracking the turn time of this entire process. So now we have a better understanding of how long it takes us to turn around questions or maintenance requests from our loan officer, and we might be able to better track our internal SLAs. So what did we build all this on? And this is a great question. When people ask, how do you make this happen? So our underlying technology for BankerShare is built on three things: Office 365, SharePoint, and Nintex. And we create a single interactive platform built to create efficiencies through all aspects of your organization. So everything you see today, you're going to see that is built on these three platforms here. And so now we're going to switch over to the demo. And I'm going to give you a brief overview of BankerShare. Here is our home page. This is something that will come in the package. We can configure this to your needs. We can put highlights, featured articles, quick links, messages, and other links on the dashboard or on the home page. And so this is something that's totally configurable upon implementation. We also, let me go across the navigation bar that we have up at the top. We have a concept of dashboards. This comes with BankerShare. We've developed 4 of them: a branch manager, a CSR, a regional manager, and a teller. These are all specific to roles. So when a branch manager wants to see what's going on within their branch for the day, they can go to their dashboard. I'm going to pick regional president. We'll just kind of take a peek into that one real quick. And the regional president will have various branches that roll up to them. And so they can see what's going on within their branch network that they're responsible for. In this case, they can take a look at any fraud in their region today, account closings that might be going on, CTR tracking, and so on, and specific announcements to them. Other items, we have departments. We provide a department template for you to look at and to implement. So as you want to start building out your departments and start that collaboration between your departments, you can use our template and get to the market quicker with this product. We have corporate information, some basic information here, a calendar, corporate news. But one of the things that we've done is we've added a location listing, and the location listing is kind of central to a lot of the things we do within BankerShare. We give a list of all your branches, and we associate certain information with those branches, such as a manager, a region, a state, a regional president, and so on. We can associate GL account numbers, any type of information that you want to associate with a branch, we can associate here. And so when we start creating transactions or entries into BankerShare, this is going to allow us to create some dynamic reporting based on the information that's associated with that entry. One of the last things we've done is we just created some quick links for you to navigate around BankerShare. Here you can see a list of the apps that we've already built out. We've got account closings, check fog tracking, CTR tracking. Here are the two we're going to be covering today, loan maintenance and missing loan information. We also have monetary instrument sales logs and teller over short. And with this comes a host of reporting that we have built out. So here are our business processes, but we want to report on these business processes, so we've created an array of reporting for you to do that. We've also built in some process maps for every application that we build out. We build a process map so you understand what is going on at any given time. So I'm going to show you an example of our process map. We've already saw it in the PowerPoint, but this is what we're getting ready to cover right here. So we're going to do a loan maintenance request where a loan officer sends it in, and then it goes through different statuses based on what's going on with that form. I'm going to switch back over to our quick links, and I'm going to come down here to loan maintenance. So we can have this loan maintenance view constructed in virtually any way, but what I've done here is I want to show you that this gives me a bird's eye view of what's going on with loan information. If I'm in loan operations, I can see that I've got one request that is in progress. I've got one that already has received information on. I've requested some information, additional information, and they provided it. I've got two new ones that I have to address, and then I've got one that I and said, hey, I need some more information, so I'm waiting for additional information. Once, as an example, once that information's been provided by this loan officer, this item here then moves up in here under information received. So I can track the life cycle of my request. I'm going to go ahead and create a new one here. Just kind of look at the entry screen. We really want to make this simple for you to use, for your users to use, to input the information and move about their day. The form itself, very straightforward. We have who is it requested by. We've got request date. What branch is it requesting? What a loan office or branch is it coming from? Again, this kind of goes back to our location master where I can associate certain information so I can break down in reporting what's going on. Loan types, you can put all your different types of loan types that you have out there, any type of priority, your customer name, loan numbers. And this is neat. If you want to copy other people to be aware of what's going on within this request, maybe your loan officer wants to copy someone, maybe they're a loan assistant, they can put their loan assistant's email address in there or just search in Active Directory and find it. And then your maintenance category. Your maintenance category, what type of request are you wanting your operations center to fill? And based on the request that you choose, you could have some additional fields that pop up. In this case, I'm doing a fee waiver. I can select the date and then put in the amount I would like to waive, and then put in a description of what I'm asking. So all this information here is carried over to the loan operations center, and as soon as you hit save, they are notified via email, and it shows up in their work queue. So I'm going to cancel out of this, and I'm just going to pull up an existing one that we already have. In this case, I'm going to pull up waiting on additional information for Matt Long. And so the loan office now has visibility into everything that's going on within this request. And again, the request could be an array of things. You decide what those types of requests are. So I pulled up one. We've already assigned it. When you assign it, this goes out, an email sent out to the assigned to, and they get an email with a link straight back to this form. Or they can work their queue. They have the basic information that was put in by the loan officer. In this case, they know it's a fee waiver. They've got a date and an amount. And in this case, we have asked for additional information, and it has been provided. So they're asking, please provide this more information. So here's the log, and this is really nice because if you have turnover or people's on vacation, you have one place to go to get all the information, and it's not held in an email, it's not held in multiple Word documents or an Excel spreadsheet. It's all within SharePoint and Nintex and Office 365. So this is the form that goes on. I'm going to switch back over to my workflow. So the question and answers can go back and forth. You're building that history, and once an answer is received, it will flag as information has been received, but it can also go back and you can ask another question, and it'll switch back to waiting for additional information, and that can keep going back and forth until you're satisfied, and then you can change your status to complete, and that whole process closes with an email all the way back over to the loan officer. So it's it kind of ends that process, and the loan officer understands that this request has been filled. So the last thing on this is the reporting. So we provide reporting in everything that we build out, so you can better understand what is going on. In this case, I'm looking at turn time, and we can break turn time into hours, days, weeks, months, years, however you want to track it. Out of the box, we are tracking it by days. How many days does it take us to get this information back from the loan officer? Because ultimately, what we want to do is turn that turn time down to small increments so that we can process these quicker and meet our internal SLAs. But we can break this down into months, quarters, years, and by loan type to see what's going on. So it's a really neat way to look at your information, understand, see what's going on with inside your business process. The next one I want to go over is our missing loan information. So now you've submitted, the loan office has submitted a loan application, and it gets into processing maybe through your underwriters. And now what they want to do is they have questions. Something has come in. Maybe you're missing some tax documents. You could be missing some photo IDs. You could miss an array of things. So let's look at the business process we set up for this, for missing loan information. So the loan maintenance request, the missing loan information comes in. It's sent via email to the loan officer. So the back office sends an email through our SharePoint, Nintex, Office 365 application that we've built, and they're requested to provide that information. Now, we do two things here, which is configurable. We send them a reminder email if they have not responded to us in a predetermined set of time. So you tell us what that time frame is. Are we expecting 12 hours, 24 hours, 36 hours? Whatever that time frame is, we'll send them a reminder email. We'll also send them a final email. Now we can make this a loop and keep sending them emails until we get what we want, but what we have found is that we'll send them 2 emails, a reminder and a final, and then at that point we will change the status to declined, and they can reopen the case if they need to. But just like we saw in loan maintenance, we can trap that information, questions and answers going back and forth between your loan officer and the back office until we're completely satisfied, and then we can change the status to completed. Again, we're tracking turn time from the time the request for that missing information from the time we receive it. The ultimate goal is to reduce the time it takes that information to get back to the loan operations side and your underwriters so you can close the loan quicker. And so your turn times on closing or getting your loan processed should improve, and obviously helps the bottom line of the bank. So that's the process we built. Let's take a look at the actual workflow. So I'm coming into my missing loan information application. You can see I can see the status of everything. I've got quite a few I've sent final notices to. So I know that these are something that I may want to close out because we're just not getting a response back from the loan officer. Here are ones that I probably need to act on. I've got information has been provided. So now I can come in here and start processing these and working back with my underwriters to provide them the missing information. And here shows me, the last one shows me that I've already sent some reminders, so they'll be getting a final reminder in the next day or two, depending on what your time frame is to send these out. Let's open up a new one, take a look up at the form. Again, we want to make this easy for the users to enter in the information. And so the form, very straightforward, customer name, the application ID that's associated with that form, the application date, the product. Again, you'll put your products in here, as many as you have, as many as you want. We're requesting the information from. Here you'll use your Active Directory and search for the loan officer's name, and then exactly what you're looking for. We can also augment this with more check boxes for if you're missing certain documents, you could check which documents that you would like. That's totally configurable upon implementation. You're not tied exactly to the workflows and the data that we have here, so it's very configurable to what your needs are. So this form can be added to address certain types of information that maybe you're missing more commonly. So that's our form. That's as easy as it has to be. So now, once this is created and sent, we'll jump back over here to our workflow diagram. The email is sent to the loan officer, and it sits in the loan. I'm sorry, it's sent over to sent to the loan officer, so they can reply to it. So I'm going to open up one here. I'm going to open up Steve Smith. Now, information has been provided, so I'm sitting in the back office, and information has been provided from the loan officer. So I can now take a look at what has been provided from the loan officer about Steve Smith, who has a loan app out there. So across the top is the status. So as it moves down the pipeline here, so to speak, we can tell exactly what's going on. Information has been provided. I can come down and take a look and say, okay, remind myself of what I asked for was here. Need the last 3 years tax returns. I didn't provide them in the package, and so now the response from the loan officer is, hey, I've uploaded that to the FTP site or whatever site you're using to upload returns or whatever secure site. You also maybe put it as an attachment as a part of the form. We're documenting the date that this information was provided. Again, all this information, once we get it and close this out, we're tracking the turn time. We're also tracking if there was a reminder sent and what date it was sent on, and same with the final notice. Again, this is important information to better understand where your bottlenecks are, where your troubles are as far as getting your turn times down. Once an item is done, I can complete it or I can decline it. Or as a back office person, I can send additional emails for more information. Maybe I need some additional information other than the tax returns. I can use the same form here and send out another request for information. So it's all trapped here. Again, this really helps if you have turnover in the bank or you have people on vacation. This happens in the summers. You have all this information in one form that you can go back to and see where you stand within requesting the additional information. Now I'm going to switch over to the reporting piece of this. Very much like what we saw in a loan maintenance, is that we provide reporting. So based on the information, in this case, I'm looking at turn time by lender. Maybe I can identify what lenders are being a little slack in providing my information, and maybe I can work with them to reduce the time to get that information. Maybe there's a process that's broken that we can help out with. Maybe there's a training issue, so we can look at that. We also can drill down by category of loans, see what we have going on category, or we can look by month. So again, a full array of reports. When we build out a business process and we're tying departments together, we want to better understand the data piece of it in regards to the data that we're trapping in our forms. And so that concludes the demo part of this, but I want to switch back and I want to show you, I'm excited about our roadmap and where we're going within our roadmap. We have got a lot of exciting things that we're going to be working on in the next a month or two. And so what you can see here in green, we've completed. And we've talked about the two in regards to loan maintenance and missing loan information. But our roadmap right now stands as what you see in black. These are the things that we have identified that branches and loan offices need. Specifically for loans, we're looking at loan operations booking, intent to proceed on a loan, collateral release request, a real estate closing calendar. But the exciting thing for you guys is that we are just looking at this roadmap, and we're hoping that our customers, our future customers, can step in and help guide us and direct us on what needs our priority. It may not even be on this list right now, and that's what we're looking for, input from our future customers that say, hey, these are things that we need. But you know what? During the early on part, and even going forward, if you have an item, a workflow or a business process that you know is absolutely broken, we can build that and roll that into our core offering. And you can partner with us to help define what that functionality is, because the platform is meant for you to build business processes that are broken or non-existent or just needs additional help. So that's the exciting thing about our roadmap, is that you have great input on that. So I'm going to turn it back over to Nicole for question, answers, and next steps.
Awesome. That's great, Andy. Thank you so much. We have had a few questions coming in, and we've got just a couple of minutes left, so we'll roll through those real quickly. First of all, if we get the loan maintenance functionality, but our process is different, can it be changed?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the neat thing about BankerShare. It's configurable. We hope we got you 70 to 80% there or where you need to be, but your process may be different. You may have additional steps and approvals and things like that. We can incorporate those inside of what we've already built to meet your current business needs.
Awesome. And I think you kind of just spoke to this, but if they have other processes that they want to automate and they kind of get this package, are we able to incorporate their additional processes as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you get BankerShare, you will get 3 modules that you feel like you can leverage today. But there might be other needs that you have that are very pressing. And so those things can be built out on your platform, because this is a productivity platform. This is designed for you to address business processes that are not there or broken and need help. So just because you have our platform doesn't mean you're limited to what we have. Use it to build out functionality to meet your needs.
Awesome. And then if they want to show this to their VP, what are the next steps? Is it possible to schedule, you know, like a full one-on-one demo of the solution?
Absolutely. We'd love to be reached out to, and we can set up one-on-one demos, kind of go through in deeper dives on how we did some of these things, maybe talk about some of your business pains that you want to know, can this be addressed through our solution through some additional design and setup. So absolutely.
Excellent. All right, so with that, that brings us right to our time for today. So I thank you all so much for joining. I hope that you're as excited as we are about BankerShare. Please feel free to contact us if you've got any other questions, or if you're ready to get started. Our contact information is up there on this last slide. And thank you so much, and have a great day.